Good morning, teachers and students. We'll get started here in just a few more minutes. Please stand by. Thanks so much for joining us. Good afternoon, teachers and students. We will get started here in about another minute. Please stay tuned.
Hello, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Deb Holland, and I'm honored to share a few words during this year's Discovery Festival. The 6th annual Discovery Festival, hosted by Big Brothers Big Sisters, has become a wonderful tradition, providing a wide array of opportunities for New Mexico students to discover the future of STEM. New Mexico is home to many historic and consequential scientific breakthroughs, discoveries that range from revolutionizing the way we'll power the cities of the future to expanding our ability to explore the cosmos. This year, for the first time, Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central New Mexico is hosting Discovery Fest virtually. I'm amazed at how many events and presentations this team has put together under such challenges this year, and I'm delighted to see that a record number of New Mexico students will join the fun and the learning of Discovery Fest. New Mexico is an amazing home for technology, and our kids are in a great position to learn more and take advantage of our state's unique and important role in the national tech space. In Congress, I support expanding STEM. Opportunities like Discovery Fest and fighting for resources for your incredible teachers because I know how important science, technology, engineering, and math will be for our future. I want to let you all know about my annual Congressional App Challenge that invites students to come up with one of a kind apps and have their app displayed at the national level. Students learn to code, manage a project, and learn more about technology. In that spirit, I'm thrilled to welcome this future generation of innovators, inventors, and explorers, and all the incredible teachers developing these bright young minds to this year's event. Our beautiful state of New Mexico, America, and frankly, our whole world's future will be counting on the creativity and innovative spirit of you young people. So I want to encourage all the future physicists, researchers, biologists, and engineers watching right now to keep reaching for the stars. Learn all you can, and most of all, have fun at this year's Discovery Fest. Thank you.
Great. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Congresswoman Holland, for that amazing message of support. Uh, and as she said, I'd like to welcome you all to our 6th annual Virtual Discovery Festival. Of course, outside of a pandemic, Discovery Festival is a one-day event held at the Albuquerque Convention Center where 3,000 students all descend on the Albuquerque Convention Center to engage with 50 plus exhibitors from all various areas of STEAM. And as Congresswoman Holland mentioned, STEAM means science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. So because of the current pandemic that we all find ourselves in, I'm at home, I'm broadcasting from my house, and I'm sure you're all watching from home too. We have had to move our event completely virtually, completely online. So we have instead of the one-day event, we've used the entire month of November to bring you these amazing live streams from various different exhibitors, all hoping to engage and excite you about the wonderful world of STEAM, all from the comfort of your own home. Whew, it's a lot of words there, but I do want to take a minute here, as I always do in the beginning of these presentations, to just thank some of our sponsors. I can't say this enough that without these sponsors, what you're seeing in this event would absolutely not be possible. So to our Da Vinci presenting sponsor, Honeywell, thank you so much, Honeywell, for your sponsorship and for your participation and your advocacy during this COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you so much, Honeywell. Thank you to our Curie sponsor, Fidelity Investments. Fidelity's been a community partner of ours for many, many, many years. They're always a hit at the festival. And so we're happy that Fidelity was able to join us again this year in 2020. To our ride sponsors, Aztec Machine and Repair out in beautiful Bloomfield, New Mexico, and to Air Force Research Laboratories, who are coming on the stream tomorrow to talk about satellites. And that's tomorrow at 1 p.m. You can check out AFRL. To our Newton sponsors, the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, who was just on this morning, actually, and they're coming back on Thursday, so be sure to check that out, the DITRA, to Micronet Solutions, to Sandia National Laboratories, and to Presbyterian Hospitals. Thank you so much to all of our wonderful Newton sponsors. And just some general rules for this live stream. A couple of notes. If anything happens, if this live stream goes down for whatever reason, I don't think it will, nor should it go down, but just in case if it does, go right back to this YouTube page. That's the BBBS CNM YouTube page, and this live stream should be back up and running very, very, very shortly. Also, please take advantage of the chat function there on YouTube. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, anything like that, please post it there in the chat. We will read your questions live on air. Tell us where you're watching from, what school you're from, and what city in New Mexico you're watching from. We would love to read that on our show, on our program. I don't know what to call this anymore. Without further ado, while I get all tongue tied up over here, I'd like to introduce our guest for this afternoon's live stream. From CNM Recruitment, we have Madeline Doherty. Said it right. Did I say it right? Did I get it?
You did perfect.
Awesome, yeah. I've been messing up her name for the past couple of streams, so I promise I'd get it right the next time. So
Beautiful.
Awesome. Welcome, Madeline. I'm going to kick it over to you. I always blab for way too long in the beginning of these, so take it away.
Wonderful. Thanks, Will. As you mentioned, my name is Madeline Doherty. You all feel free to call me Maddie. I am the recruitment manager for Central New Mexico Community College. And so my goal today is just to talk to you all a little bit about the opportunities available to you at CNM and encourage you all to ask your questions as we go along. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is share my screen so that we have a presentation to look at rather than my face for the next 30 minutes or so. So a little bit about myself just to get started here. So I'm actually pretty new to CNM. I've actually only worked here about 4 months now. And I'd like to mention that at the top simply because there may be some questions you all have that I don't know the answers to. However, I have been in higher education for other institutions around the state for the past 12 years. So I at least know how to find the answers to your questions. So if I can't figure out your answer today, I promise to follow up and we'll get you that answer one way or another. All right, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So here are just some fun facts about Central New Mexico Community College. We are the largest community college in New Mexico. We serve over 22,000 students, so it's huge. And those of you who maybe don't know, we are here in Albuquerque. We offer over 100 different programs here at CNM. So we offer associate's level degrees, which you probably know. Those are typically about 2 years worth of program. And then we also have a ton of different certificate programs as well. So a lot to choose from here at CNM. Like I said, we are housed here in Albuquerque, but we actually have 9 different locations spread out around the city as well as Rio Rancho. So that makes us really accessible to our students, which is really important to us. However, of course, it's sort of a moot point right now as we're all mostly virtual, but we do still have those facilities available to you all when we do have face-to-face programming. You all may have also seen our mascot, Soul the Sun Cat. That's the cool cat down there on the bottom of your screen. Just like to point him out. That way, if you see his face, you'll know it has something to do with CNM. One of my favorite facts about CNM is that our average class size is only 20 students. So those of you who are maybe right now in high school, start paying attention to average class size numbers when you're researching which college or university you want to go to. You don't want to be in a huge lecture hall or these days, huge Zoom rooms, right? You want to find smaller class sizes. That way you can have good, meaningful conversations with your instructors. So when you do your research, you'll find that 20 students per class is really, really awesome. But perhaps my favorite fact about CNM that I've learned so far in my 4 months experience is the last fact that I have included on the bottom left, which is upon graduation, 95% of our students find jobs in their chosen fields. So that is a huge statistic, guys. So as a college graduate myself, it was hard enough just to find a job in anything upon getting my degree. So the fact that the majority of our students not only find jobs, but those jobs are in the fields that they're looking for, that is really important because that's sort of the whole point, right? So as I mentioned, we have over 100 different programs here at CNM. So the way we divide them up is by academic schools. So as you can see on the right side of your screen, we have 6 academic schools listed there. And what I'm going to do next is talk to you a little bit about each of the schools. Now, there's definitely not enough time to talk about all of our programs, so I'm just picking and choosing a couple of the more interesting ones that popped out to me, so you can have an idea of the programs that we have at CNM. But our website is actually one of the best college websites I've ever seen. It's super useful, and I will point that out here at the end of the presentation, so you can have some time to learn more about other programs that maybe I didn't have time to touch on today. And then I'll mention, of course, our new exciting online college that we've just started as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here and talk to you about the programs. So the first school here is a School of Adult and General Education. We call it SAGE for short. And this one is for folks looking for a high school equivalency. You may have heard of the GED or the HiSET. We also offer great programs for English as a second language, also known as ESL, English to speakers of other languages. So lots of different programs. These may not be super applicable to you all, especially, if you're on track to graduate. So I just like to mention that we have these programs. Even if you can't utilize the programs, you may know somebody who can utilize the program. So I just like to mention at the top that these are available to you all. Moving on to our School of Applied Technologies. This is a very hands-on school. So if you're a hands-on sort of learner, we have lots of great programs in the school for you. So one program that really jumped out at me when I was starting to research CNM was the Aviation Maintenance Technology program, which I just never really thought about that being a program, right? Like, oh, I guess there do need to be people who know how to work on aircraft, like obviously, right? Thankfully, we have people who do. So we have a really great program here for that at CNM. And actually, on one of our campuses here in the city, we have a facility that houses actual aircraft that our students get to work on, which is what you see pictured here on this slide, which I just think is super cool, right? Because we're preparing you for that real world. You're getting to actually work on the aircraft that you'll work on in the workforce. So we're preparing you for that, which is the whole point of CNM. Another industry you probably have all been made aware that is booming here in Albuquerque is the film industry, right? But a lot of students are interested in the film industry, but maybe not so much being in front of the camera. So we have a great film technician program where you can work behind the camera. So that's if you want to be like a camera operator or a sound engineering technician, something like that. That's what this film technician program is for. I also like to mention welding. That's a really popular program. As I mentioned, I worked as a recruiter for other institutions prior to COVID, where I got to actually travel around the state and talk to students face to face. And one program I always got asked about was welding. So here at CNM, we have a really strong welding program. It's a 2-year program where the graduates typically go into construction or energy or manufacturing. So it's a really lucrative degree if you're interested in that sort of thing. And we actually have the School of Applied Technologies coming on tomorrow. If you want to check out that presentation, there will be some presentations from all around the school. So I encourage you to tune in if you want to learn a little bit more. Next up is our School of Business and Information Technology. As the title states, we have tons of business-related programs at CNM, your accounting, your business administration, all of those sorts of majors, which are awesome because they give you a great foundation and they teach you lots of skills that are going to be useful in no matter which career field you end up in. Let's see, and then of course with information technology, that's an important field, especially right now when we're all glued to our computer screens. We need folks that are more savvy on the information technology sorts of things. So one program that's really popular here is called Computer Information Systems, and that's if you're interested in cloud technology, digital media, web programming, those sorts of things. Again, that we can't live without that right now. So it's a really lucrative degree program to get into as we all need it. Next up is our School of Communication, Humanities, and Social Sciences. So this is actually the largest school here at CNM. There are a ton of different programs just within this one school. One program that I've always found interesting, even as a little girl, I thought anthropology was just a really neat program. So here at CNM, we have a really cool anthropology program, and that can be utilized in lots of different ways. Maybe you're interested in conservation efforts. Anthropology is a great foundation for that. Or maybe you're riding the true crime train like myself. This is a really cool way to apply your interest in forensic investigations, right? It's anthropology. I also like to mention with this school, we do have a program for those of you who maybe don't know what you want to do when you grow up, right? And that is totally fine. If you don't know what you want to be, I understand. So we have a program called Liberal Arts, and that is just for students like you who maybe don't know. The way it works is you'll be able to take your general education classes that will work toward lots of different degrees, get those out of the way. Meanwhile, you can sample classes from lots of different programs, maybe get a feel for what you enjoy, what you maybe want to do. And this program is designed to transfer. So that way you have these first 2 years to sort of get an idea of what you want to do, and then you can take your credits with you to a school where you can focus on a specific program once you've decided what that is. So I'd just like to mention that to you all, because I know it can be scary not knowing what you want to do, but that is totally fine. All right, next up is our School of Health, Wellness, and Public Safety. Lots of great programs here. So actually prior to COVID, I got a chance to check out the cosmetology facility, which is really cool. Oh, we have a question.
Yep. We had 2 things come up, and I wanted to mention this based off of one of the things that we had come in. So you're talking about like laying the foundation with some of the liberal arts stuff, and right. And so Madeline, if I don't have this wrong, you can start into a program because there's some stuff that just you have to lay some groundwork that's kind of universal across the board in a college career, right?
Right. Yep. You need like your maths, you need your Englishes, your sciences, no matter what.
And if you don't know, I mean, it took me forever to figure out what I wanted to do and what I wanted to study. And so if it takes you a while, that's okay. You can start these processes early. I think that's the key there. And so dovetailing on that, is it ever late to start a new career path or a new study path?
Great question. And the answer is no, it's never too late. Definitely, you can always change your mind. We're constantly growing. I encourage you all constantly be learning, be a life learner, constantly challenge yourself. And with that come different opportunities for maybe career or college, opportunities. So definitely take advantage of it no matter what stage you're in, for sure. It's never too late, I promise you. I like to mention, I literally just turned 30, you guys. I still don't really know what I want to be when I grow up. And who knows what the future has for me, but I'm just being a life learner and I'm going to figure it out as I go and enjoy it along the way. So that's my 2 cents on that. Thanks, Will. All right. So as I was mentioning, so I got a chance to check out the cosmetology facility, which is really, really cool. It's on our Joseph Montoya campus over in the Northeast Heights. And it's basically a salon. So we have a facility where you can go get your hair done, nails done, makeup, and we have actual clientele get to go in there for appointments, which is really, really cool because that means our students are getting to practice what they've learned in the classroom on actual clientele. That way they know what they're doing. They're confident that they know what they're doing. That way when they graduate, they go out into that real world and they know that they can tackle it, which is huge. Similarly, I like to mention, but maybe a little bit more intense, is the Emergency Medical Services Program. This is maybe for folks wanting to be an EMT, a paramedic. We do require that our students utilize the equipment that these folks use every day on the job, again, so that you know what you're doing and you're confident that you know what you're doing. And again, it's a little bit more intense because this is actually life or death, that you know what you're doing out in the real world, but CNM's focus is making sure that you are prepared for that real world scenario. And perhaps the most popular program I get asked about here at CNM is our nursing program. That is a very, very popular program. So I just like to mention to students at the get-go, it is a 2-step admissions process. So not only do you have to be admitted to CNM, but you also have to follow some guidelines set forth by the nursing department. And again, our website is super useful. So I encourage you visit their department website, just so you can read up on what those requirements are, because it is all listed out for you. But if you have any issues navigating or have some questions, please feel free to reach out, and we'll figure it out together. All right, and lastly here, we have the School of Math, Science, and Engineering. So anything STEM, although I understand it's now STEAM. When I was growing up, it was just STEM. So science, technology, engineering, math. This is a great school for you all. All of your traditional maths, traditional sciences, a bunch of which are listed on the slide. Engineering, a really popular field, especially here in Albuquerque that I've noticed. And most engineers do require at least a 4-year bachelor's degree. So I like to encourage students to get started at CNM for that 2-year associate's degree first. For one thing, it just helps, make that transition from high school to college, because college is a little bit different than high school and how it works. So it's a little bit smoother of a transition, again, with the smaller class sizes. It can be a little bit more affordable for students. And it just allows some time for students to figure out what they want to do, right? Because engineering they have lots of different types of engineering. So there's civil engineering, there's electrical, mechanical, aerospace, on and on. So by getting started at CNM with that 2-year degree, you have some time to figure out what area you want to focus on. And again, our programs are designed to transfer, so you can transfer those credits to a 4-year institution that specializes in that specific type of engineering that you're looking to do. And lucky for us, we have lots of great 4-year institutions nearby that offer engineering, which is exciting. All right, and I just wanted to touch on the new online college that we have to offer. We're really excited about this. This is brand new. It just started fall of 2020. And what this is we are offering these 8 programs listed completely online from start to finish, COVID or no COVID, which is really great. If you have to work a part-time job and you can't come to a brick and mortar class, or maybe you don't live in Albuquerque, these programs are obtainable 100% online. So we're excited to provide that flexibility with you all. And I did just want to hop over to our website just to highlight where you can go for more information on the programs, because like I said, I just don't have time to get into all of them. But what I did is I came here to cnm.edu. You can go here to programs and classes and then navigate to programs A through Z. And then on this page, we have listed all of our programs in alphabetical order, which is really nice. And so when you find a program that's interesting to you, so let's say business as an example, we have a ton of different degrees and certificates here that you can see, right? So you can read up on each and every one of these to see what is interesting to you. And I do like to clarify for students here what the differences are between these. So AAS, that stands for Associate of Applied Science. Those are typically geared towards students that are planning to join the workforce immediately after getting their 2-year degree. So we don't expect you to transfer, although you certainly can. The Associate of Arts, that is a 2-year program where we do expect you to transfer, so it is a really easily transferable program. And then certificates, those are typically for folks already working in the field, but they just want to level up their skill set. So a lot of students tend to choose Associate of Arts in this manner. So here's a good example. This website will tell you more about the specific program, some special requirements, if applicable, the costs, career opportunities, which is really nice. One of my favorite things about our website is it also lists all of the classes that you have to take separated by term. So this is really helpful just to have this roadmap, especially if you do plan to transfer. I like to encourage students definitely be in contact with the 4-year institution that you want to transfer to. And you know, you can utilize this. So maybe you're in your second term and you're planning your next semester and you're like, well, I have to take intro to stats. That transfers into the program, right? And you can just double check that you're on track with the program that you're going to transfer into. So again, I'm just really excited about this website here. So I just like to point that out to you all. But we'll go ahead and return to the presentation here. We're almost through. So next up, I just wanted to touch on cost because I know that is a huge factor in college decision making. So here I have listed for you the cost for CNM, which I'm excited to tell you is very affordable. So as you can see here in the center, we have a flat rate for students who take 12 to 18 credit hours, which is full-time status at the community college level. So if you can be a full-time student, we have this flat rate for you of $672 per term. So roughly, what is that, $1,300 for a year's worth of education? That is really awesome, guys. When you start doing your research, you'll see how competitive that is. Now, let's say you can't be a full-time student. Again, maybe you have to work a part-time job. So we do have a cost per credit hour available as well. As you can see on the left side of your screen, we have that listed here. So if you take less than 12 credit hours, you can do a cost per credit hour, which is $56 per credit. Most classes are 3 credits. However, you know, some of them can be 4, you know, if it's a lab class, something like that. But again, if you can be a full-time student, we have this flat rate for you, which is really, really affordable. But if you don't have that $1,300 laying around for 2 terms, don't worry, neither do I. So here at CNM, we have really great opportunities to help you pay for your tuition. So we have a ton of different scholarships, as well as we honor what the FAFSA offers. So just as a brief overview of our scholarships here, we have 2 state-funded scholarships that you may have heard of. The first one is the New Mexico Lottery Scholarship, or also called the Lottery Legislative Scholarship. What this is it's for New Mexico residents graduating from a New Mexico high school. What you have to do is your very first semester of college, they are looking to see that you meet 2 criteria. The first one is you have to maintain at least 12 credit hours at the community college level, and you have to have at least a 2.5 GPA. So as long as you meet those 2 criteria, you'll start getting the lottery scholarship starting your spring semester or your second semester. There are 8 terms covered by the lotteries. So yes, it does transfer if you do transfer to a 4-year bachelor's program after CNM. The amount of the lottery changes every single year. It just depends on the state legislature. So if you're currently a senior in high school, start paying attention to the legislative sessions. Those typically happen around May or June, and that'll determine how much the lottery will cover for you. And if you're an underclassman, you can kind of hold off and just wait until you're a senior, because again, it will change every year. So like I mentioned, that very first semester of college, that's what they call your qualifying semester, right? They want to see that you qualify by getting that 12 credit hour and 2.5 mark. So there's not any aid offered through the lottery scholarship yet because they don't know that you meet the criteria yet. So here at CNM, we offer an amazing scholarship for you guys called the Bridge to Success Scholarship. What this is it's for New Mexico residents graduating from New Mexico high school. Again, you have to be on track to obtaining the lottery. You have to apply to CNM by March 31st. But essentially, as long as you're on track to getting that lottery, you'll get the Bridge to Success Scholarship, which covers your entire semester. So it covers up to exactly $717, which is the first full term's tuition as well as any applicable fees. So it's a really, really good cushion for our students who are waiting for that lottery to kick in. We'll cover that first semester for you. And then we have a ton of other scholarships here at CNM, just depending on what our donors have given us and lots of other different factors. But we make it super simple for our students where we ask that you fill out one application. It's called the CNM My Scholarship application. What it is you fill out this one application that has some multiple choice questions. You have to write a short essay about yourself, why you're studying what you're studying, what career you want to get into, that sort of thing. Submit a letter of recommendation. But essentially, once you submit that single application, we do all the other behind the scenes work for you and pair you automatically with other scholarships that you might qualify for. So this might be, must be a graduate of specific high school in New Mexico, or must be studying nursing at CNM, or must be a military dependent. So there's a wide range of scholarships available to our students. So you just need to fill out this one application and we will try to match you with as much as we can, because we definitely want to give you as much money as we can to help you with your education. On top of the scholarships we have to offer at CNM, we of course honor what the FAFSA offers you all. So as a refresher, FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid, emphasis on free. I like to encourage all of my students, fill out the FAFSA every single year, starting your senior year of high school. So if you're a senior in high school, the FAFSA is open. It opened up October 1st. It has a priority deadline of March 1st. So try to get it in well before that March 1st deadline. If you're an underclassman, you're not going to be filling out the FAFSA quite yet. You'll start filling it out your senior year. But I like to encourage students to fill out the FAFSA to see if you qualify for any of these three types of aid listed on this slide. So what are these? So the first kind of aid is called Pell Grants. That is free money from the government that you don't pay back. We also call it gift money. That is the best kind of money, right? The kind you don't have to pay back. Then we also have work study. And that's where you have an on-campus job or remote job, if we're still in remote learning when you all attend CNM, where you work up to 20 hours a week. It is super convenient. That's actually how I got my start. I started as a freshman in college at the college that I went to. I started working for the front desk of that admissions office. And it was super awesome. I'd go to work a couple of hours in the morning. I would walk to my classes, come back to work a little bit more in the afternoon, maybe, depending on my schedule. Didn't even have to fight traffic. I was building my resume in college, which is super valuable. And they are very flexible with their students because they understand that you're there to study first and work second. So this is really important, especially around midterms and finals. They can be a little bit more flexible with your schedule to make sure that you're successful. And then lastly here, of course, student loans, right? Love-hate relationship with these guys because they help us go to school, but we do have to pay them back with interest. So I just encourage students, if you're offered student loan money, I know it can be tempting to see all this money being offered to you, but please only take what you need. It's like everybody else says, it's not fun paying them back, right? So just take as little loan money as possible, but it is there for you if you need that extra assistance to get your education. All right, so just a couple more resources, guys. So like I mentioned, I've been in higher education about 12 years now, and CNM is one of the most supportive colleges I've ever worked for. So one great resource for our students that we offer is our tutoring service, right? We want to make sure that you're successful and you have that resource to be successful. And yes, we are still offering this even in a remote setting. So we shifted everything that way we still could assist our students even if we were all working from home. Perhaps my favorite people here at CNM that I've met so far are the navigators and the coaches. So my job as the recruiter is to help students through the application process. But once you've submitted your application and you're admitted, it's not like I say, okay, good luck, figure it out, I'm doing other things. That's not how we do it here at CNM. So once you're admitted to CNM, you are assigned a navigator who is the person who can help you with all of your business item questions, like, do I need a student ID card if I'm not on campus? If I do need an ID card, where do I go? Did you all receive my dual credit transcripts? So all of those sort of little questions that start popping up, they will definitely help you and make sure that you have everything squared away. And then when it comes time to register for classes, we have folks called academic coaches, and those are the pros at all of the programs here at CNM. So they know the ins and outs. So they'll help you figure out what classes you need. They'll help you through that registration process as well, in case you're not comfortable doing it by yourself. And they go even further than that. So maybe you run into like a financial crisis. They're also financial coaches, so they can help provide some resources to help you with that. They also help with job connection services, which is really valuable. So we just have folks here along the way throughout your entire time at CNM, because we want to make sure that you're successful and you have the support that you need. All right, and I just wanted to mention dual credit real quickly. If you're an underclassman or even a senior in high school right now, dual credit is a really great opportunity, guys. So if you are interested in dual credit, the spring application is open. So again, if you are a senior, there is still time to take dual credit. And I like to encourage students to do it simply because, it's a smoother transition. Like I was saying earlier, high school and college are just very different animals. So just taking 1 or 2 dual credit classes in high school will help build that confidence. So when you become a full-blown student at CNM or another college of your choice, that you can do it, which is really important, right? Also, it's less time to a college degree, right? Because you get started early, so it's not necessarily going to take the full 2 years after graduating high school to get that associate's level degree. Free tuition for the most part. I do know some budgets are changing in the higher or in the public education field right now. So just double check with your counselors about how tuition and textbooks are working. But in general, it is free tuition and textbooks as well for our students. So it's a really affordable way to get a head start on your college career. And then here, just to wrap things up, I have some steps on what it takes to become a CNM student. So first things first, we do need an application from you all. What's great about CNM's application is it's free. For one thing, a lot of schools do charge an application fee. We do not. And it's open enrollment. So you're going to be accepted no matter what. And when you get accepted to CNM, it's not saying that you're committing to CNM. So don't feel like you can't apply to CNM unless you're 100% sure you want to attend. You could always apply and say no later. And I promise you, I won't take it personally. I like to tell students, especially this time of year, apply everywhere that you can, meet the deadlines for each of the schools as if you're attending that specific school. That way, when it comes time to actually make the decision, you have lots of different choices, okay? But once you submit that application, you can move on down this list, such as going through orientation, talking about your classes, getting signed up, all of that good stuff. All right, and last screen here, feel free to snap a photo. So this is my contact information. If you have any questions whatsoever about CNM, please feel free to reach out to me. That is what I'm here for. Even if you're an underclassman and you think, oh, maybe it's too early to start asking questions, don't feel that way. Start asking questions early and often, okay? Please feel free to reach out to me. This phone number that's listed here does come through my laptop, so I am able to answer the phone, even though I'm working from home right now. You can send me an email to this really easy to remember email address. Or lastly, I like to mention we have a really cool video chat option now due to the pandemic, since students can't just pop into my office. So if you attend cnm.edu/thinkingaboutcnm, We have a video chat room that is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Pop in, ask your questions. It's also really useful if you're filling out the application and you get stuck, because you can join, then you can share your screen so we can see what you're running into. So we want to be able to assist you in lots of different ways, whatever's most convenient for you guys. So please feel free to reach out.
Great. Thank you so much, Madeline. It seems like, so every time I listen to this presentation, I always come up and find new little nuggets inside of it. So I wanted to mention two that I think are just always pretty profound. So, I mean, just to reemphasize what you're saying, grants are free money. That's like money that you don't have to pay back. You get it. It's like somebody's writing you a check basically, but then it goes towards your education. It's the best type of money. I wish I would have known more about that when I was a student. You know, these are things that people always think, okay, I'm graduating from high school, I have to look into student loans immediately. But you know that there's a lot of money out there that people just want to give you to go to school. It's awesome. That was the first thing. And the second thing that I love that you mentioned was about the program where CNM will match the students with various grants and scholarships that are available. That saves so much time. You know, having done that piece of the of like the scholarship portion of it, I mean, that's something that eats up so much of your time when you're getting ready to graduate, searching through all these different programs and what are the requirements. And then you do all the applications to find out that you weren't qualified to begin with, you know. And so truly, you know, take Madeline up on her offer for that. Again, she said, and you see it still there up on your screen, take down her contact info if you need her help. If you need to see them to show you where these things are located. I mean, they want you to succeed. Truly. So please take advantage of that awesome program.
All right, now stop sharing. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for coming on today. And we're looking forward again to having CNM tomorrow at 11 a.m. We're going to be airing CNM there and streaming their presentation. So it should be a blast and a lot of fun. So please stop back in, students and teachers.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks so much. You take care.
Bye.
I did want to give a shout out here as we wrap up to all of our wonderful sponsors. Again, without these sponsors, none of what you're seeing would be possible. So thank you so much. Honeywell, again, they're coming on tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. To Fidelity Investments, you can check out their recorded streams on our website. To Aztec Machine and Repair, Air Force Research Laboratories, the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, Micronet Solutions, Presbyterian Hospitals, and Sandia National Laboratories. Thank you all so much for your partnership during these unprecedented times. Let's see. And with that, let's see. I can never find my screen. There we are. And with that, thank you all again so much for joining us. Please stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Take care.